Greetings, metalheads. Welcome to another edition of the Friday 13th YouTube channel. Today, I've got another fantastic live concert review for you. This is the San Francisco's Mighty Thrash Act, Forbidden. Now, they recently played the UK on the 15th of July at a venue called Rebellion. Now, this was one fantastic show. I really enjoyed it. I've not seen the band live since they played Bloodstock, and also having seen the band on the original tour for Forbidden Evil back in the 80s, and Twisted Into Form tour back in the early 90s. They were two fantastic shows. If you guys have seen them in the 80s and early 90s, you would have known just how fantastic they were. Now, Forbidden originally formed in 1985 under the original name Forbidden Evil, but they changed the name to Forbidden, as we all know. Now, the original lineup for the Forbidden Evil, they did a demo which featured Machine Head's guitarist and also once with Vio-lence, Rob Flynn. And correct me if I'm wrong, the Forbidden Evil demo also featured Russ Anderson on vocals, Craig, Locicero on guitars. We'd also have Matt Camacho on bass guitar, and also on drums, Paul Bostoff. Also on guitar, Glenn Valerius on guitars. Now, there's something about San Francisco in the early days. It seemed to be the birthplace of thrash metal. As we all know, the bands came out there: Exodus, Testament, Vio-lence, Death Angel, and so many great artists. Now, the band recorded, like I said, the band recorded the Forbidden Evil demo, but it wasn't long before the band got a record deal with Combat Relativity. And in Europe, it was Music for Nations, or should I say, Under One Flag. The debut album was released in 1988, Forbidden with Forbidden Evil. What a fantastic album. This is a cult classic thrash album, as we all know. A brilliant album indeed. Not one bad song on the album. Everything on this album is amazing. The guitar work, the vocals, the rhythm section with the drums and the bass. Now, this Forbidden Evil album would have Russ Anderson on vocals. As we all know, Russ Anderson is one of the best thrash metal singers out there, like Bobby Blitz. He has a fantastic vocal range, very much like Rob Halford in places. He can really hit those high notes. That's one thing I liked about this Forbidden album. And like I said, if you'd have seen him back in the day on the Forbidden Evil tour or Twisted Into Form, you'd have seen exactly how powerful this guy is as a singer. As I said, this band also featured Craig Locicero on guitars. Would have Glenn Elias on guitars. We'd also have Macho on bass guitar, and on drums would have the one and only Paul Bostoff, as we all know, went on to join Slayer. With a successful debut album, it wasn't long before the band had released their next album, released in 1990, Twisted Into Form, another fantastic album by this band. Now, this album would feature new guitarist Tim Calvert, who replaced Glenn. Now, Tim Calvert also went to join Nevermore, and he's been in some really, really good bands. Sadly, Tim Calvert passed away a few years ago. He was an absolute fantastic guitarist, a fantastic replacement for Glenn. Now, I really think this album was a fantastic album, although I would have to say the production by Michael Rosden was pretty dry. The songs are fantastic, but they didn't have the clarity of the debut album and the strength for the production. In 94, the band would do the next album, Distortion. Now, this would feature a new drummer. This would be called Steve Jacobs. The rest of the lineup would be the same as the last album. Some really good songs in this album, as we all know. Distortion was a really good follow-up. Better production than Twisted Into Form. In 97, the band released their next album, which was called Green. A little bit more different from the previous albums, but still a strong album. And this would be released on the label Gun, G-U-N. Now, in 2010, the band had come back with a new album and released the next album, which was called Amiga Wave. This was a pretty good album for a comeback. It was released on Nuclear Blast Records in 2010. Now, this would be the last album that would feature Russ Anderson on vocals. This album also featured Steve Smythe, as we all know, was once with Vicious Rumours, also Nevermore and Testament. He's been in quite a lot of bands. He's a fantastic guitarist. This album also featured drummer Mark Hernandez on drums. Now, Mark was also in a band called Talk, which featured Phil Demmel from Vio-lence. Now, as we all know, sadly, Forbidden broke up and the band went separate ways, which was a shame because this was a really good comeback album. Why they didn't record another album, I'll never know. However, the band have made a comeback in recent years, and I've got a fantastic lineup now. We'd have Craig on guitars, we'd have Matt on bass guitar, the only two original members in the current lineup. And the current new lineup would also feature Chris Kontos on drums. Now, we all know Chris was once with Machine Head. Also in the band currently is Voi-Vod's guitarist, Daniel Mongrain, who's a fantastic guitarist. I'm not sure if he's actually joined the band or if he's just standing in, but he did do the current tour around Europe. And on vocals, we have an amazing singer, Norman Skinner. Now, some of you guys out there probably don't even know who Norm is. Norman was involved with a band called Imagica, who did some fantastic albums. A couple of albums released as a Mausoleum, and the band reformed in 2023. Everybody was excited about the new lineup and what the band's future was going to hold for them, but they were doing a brilliant job on this new live tour. Norman Skinner, promised you guys have probably not even heard him singing yet. What do you think of his vocals if you have? Me personally, I think he's an amazing replacement for Russ Anderson, but Norman Skinner is a fucking amazing singer live. Having witnessed him at the Manchester gig, I could just see how powerful his voice was. I watched him sound check before the actual gig played, but man, is his voice powerful as hell. My ears almost popped. So I've got to say, I was really, really excited about seeing this band live since I haven't seen them since the Bloodstock Festival some years ago. I wasn't sure what to expect from the new singer, but like I just said, he's one hell of a replacement for Russ Anderson. Now, I've never actually been to the Rebellion Club in Manchester before in England. It's a very small club with a really, really good audience. It looks really, really cool as a packed out venue. So it was about time that the band hit the stage. They were going to be playing songs from the Forbidden Evil album and also tracks from the Twisted Interform, both classic albums, as we all know. Now, I've got to say, Craig and Daniel were absolutely amazing guitarists live. The trade-off between them was amazing, just like the KK Down and Glenn Tipton, or the Iron Maiden Adrian Smith and Dave Murray. These two guys are absolutely amazing shredders. Now, a lot of people don't really know Daniel for his work as a shredder, with him being the guitarist in Voi-Vod. Now, a lot of people wasn't sure what Daniel's capabilities were with him being in Voi-Vod. As we all know, Voi-Vod are a very technical and very strange band, but he is a fantastic guitarist. He showed his true colours and strengths playing live with Forbidden. Both Chris and Matt of the rhythm section are absolutely fantastic musicians. Now, Chris is an amazing drummer, and to follow the footsteps of Paul Bostaph really does say something. This guy can really play live. He's a brilliant drummer all around. And Norman Skinner is very much like Rob Halford, and also a cross between Tim Ripper Owens, and I guess you could say Todd Latore from Queensryche is an absolutely amazing singer, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this band do a new album, which I hope is going to be next year in 2025. So I tried my best to take the best photos I could on the evening. Unfortunately, there was no stage barrier there for photographers, so we had to do the best we could. Besides, there was a mosh pit behind me and there was people stage diving. Now, the band had plenty of energy live and plenty of rawness, really savage live, but they sounded like they did back in the day. The crowd was really behind them, and the band were having the times of their lives. So I'm going to tell you what songs they played live. They only played 13 songs. We'd open up with Follow Me, Off the Edge, Twisted into Form, March into Fire, Feel No Pain, Forbidden Evil, As Good as Dead, Step by Step, Parting of the Ways, Infinity, Out of Body, Out of Mind, Through Eyes of Glass, and the last song would be called Chalice of Blood, which had little excerpts of Overkill by Motorhead. So you'd get the Chalice of Blood in there with them playing Motorhead Overkill, and then it go back to Chalice of Blood. That was absolutely fantastic. The crowd loved it. The band were really into this, especially doing that Motorhead song. All in all, it was an absolutely great set. Now, the band don't have a record label yet, but they have some new songs wrote. I think they've got 3 new songs in the works, but I'm really looking forward to hearing the next album and seeing them live again. If you've not seen Forbidden live before, please check them out. I'm sure these guys are still doing some gigs until the end of this year. So check out this review, folks. I hope you like the pictures. Leave me some comments and please share on social media. Thanks for watching and enjoy the photos, folks. Take care and stay metal.
got impaled by my own cord. Kurt, kick us off, brother.
I think you might recognize this. One last chance to dance, motherfuckers!
And for the record, I threw out a paper airplane that has a set list signed by all the band. So whoever got that, check it out.